A very good morning to everyone. I, Anushmi Jain, Faculty of Law, on behalf of the ICFI University Dehradun, ICFI Law School, would like to welcome you all on the first day of 4 days National Virtual Workshop on Intellectual Property Rights. For the next 4 days, we have with us Advocate Mrs. Snigdha Sharma, founder, Medlex Private Services Limited, shall be dealing with the concept of copyright and trademark respectively, followed by day 3, wherein we shall have Advocate Mrs. Ragini Shah, partner, literary jurist, Mumbai, who shall be dealing with US and patent laws, and Advocate Rahul Dhote, partner, literary jurist, Mumbai, who shall be dealing with IPR litigation and design. And for day 4, we have with us Advocate Anuradha Maheshwari, founder, Lex Mantis, Mumbai, who shall be dealing with geographical indications. Moving towards today's session, it is requested to all the participants to fill the feedback form, which shall be circulated both on Zoom chat box as well as YouTube comment section during the session to mark your presence. And now I would like to call upon Professor Dr. Yugal Kishore, Dean, ICFI Law School, to give welcome address. Sir, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Anushmi Jain. Good morning to everyone. Today, we are starting 4 days virtual national workshop on intellectual property rights. On this occasion, we have with us a very learned personality, founder and director of Medlex, Madam Snigdha Sharma. Madam Sharma, I wholeheartedly welcome you to this 4 days national workshop today. Madam will be talking about copyright as rightly has been discussed by Ms. Anushmi Jain. But before that, I would like to tell you a little about the institution. In fact, ICFI Law University was established in the year 2003 by one great educationist and education and institution builder, Mr. N.J. Yashasvi. And in the year 2004, ICFI Law faculty was established. And right from that time onwards, we have been trying to inculcate and disseminate standard legal education, which is blended with research and professional skill to our students. And in the process, this year we have been awarded as one of the top universities for education and having legal excellence by CSR and in the Uttarakhand, and the 6th in the India level. Further, we have been awarded or ranked 26th by India Today among all national law schools in India, including NLUs and all. So in this way, we have been succeeded in our goal, and recently we have been awarded with the E-Lead certificate with a proficiency in having online digital education. Further, university has also been ranked 44 by URI, that is World University for real impact on education. So this way, our university has come to a long way. And in the last few days, right from the March itself, we have organized a number of webinars, which are more than 20, and a number of workshops and lecture series, including a lecture, 7-day lecture on jurisprudence. So today, we are very fortunate that we are going to start a 4 days lecture workshop series on IPR. On this occasion, we have Madam Snigdha, and I request the academic coordinator of ICPI Law School, Madam Monica Kharola, to kindly submit a brief introduction of Madam Snigdha Sharma.
Thank you,
Over
sir.
to Madam Kharola.
Thank you, sir. I welcome all the participants
Thank you very much.
to this intellectual property workshop, and it's my privilege to introduce to the participants the speaker for today, Miss Snigdha Sharma, who is the founder and director of Meglex and specializes in corporate and intellectual property law. She also serves as the director on the board of several companies. Ms. Snigdha did her graduation and post-graduation from Bharati Vidyapeeth, New Law College. Ms. Snigdha is proficient in reviewing and drafting contracts across multiple domains. She has core expertise in matters related to intellectual property law, company law, and insolvency code. Her practice primarily revolves around analysis, strategy, and effective execution in finding solutions to legal problems. Key verticals she has personally handled include business development and relationship management with clients across domains. We welcome you, ma'am, to this lecture series and hope that I'm sure that the participants will benefit immensely from your lecture. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica ma'am, and thank you, Dean sir, for such lovely introduction and also giving me an opportunity to speak. Very few people know that I was a lecturer in Guwahati University for a short period of time, and I love my teaching experience. But then I had to head back to corporate life, and this was like a dream thing. So when Vishal came and gave me this opportunity, I just grabbed it, and I was so happy to take it and start again. So thank you again, all of you, for giving me this chance. To begin with, should I start my session now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I hope the screen, my PPT is visible to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So already about me, Ms. Monica have already told, so I'm not going ahead with that. So next segment, I'll start with the introduction of intellectual property law. Even though my topic is copyright, I would still want to give a brief about intellectual property and how it has come up into the picture so that we have an understanding about that. And then we can take it forward to the today's section, that is copyright. First of all, what is intellectual property law and how did it come into the picture? We all are creative in our mind to a certain extent. The asset product of a creativeness of the human being is what is intellectual property law. We make different things. It can come into a different picture. Even writing a small paragraph or having singing a song, writing a song, making a note, everything is something which comes under the intellectual property law. Now, WIPO came up with the definition of intellectual property, which I have mentioned here. There are various definitions. Am I audible to everybody? So my WIPO, I have mentioned here about WIPO's definition. There are various other definitions also. So here the definition states that intellectual property includes the literary, artistic, and scientific work, performance of performing artists, phonographs, and broadcast, intentions in all fields of human endeavor, inventions, industrial designs, trademarks, service marks, and commercial names and designations. This whole thing was developed to protect against any unfair competition and all other rights resulting from intellectual activity in the industrial, scientific, literary, and artistic field. when I say intellectual property law, it has been divided into various types. For example, trademark, copyright is one of the type, trademark is one of the type, patent, trade secrets. I'm dealing with my lecture here will be on the Indian aspect, how Indians have categorized it under the Indian law. So trademark and service mark is one, copyright is the second thing, patent, trade secrets, geographical indication, design, and varieties and farmer rights, and layout design of semiconductor integrated circuits. To give a small brief or gist about each one, let me start with trademark. Trademark is nothing but a brand. Every company, ICFA itself is a brand. So ICFA is a trademark. Copyright. Copyright can be of anything, whichever is expressed. My idea has been expressed into certain words, so that we go for copyright protection. So it can be a movie, a book, any performance. All these parts comes under copyright protection. I'll go more in detail with the later aspect. Patent talks about the invention, which we have in hardcore thing. It can be an engine. There has to be certain invention with patent, and patent is one of the most difficult protection to get compared to any other. Trade secret, as we all know, Coca-Cola came up with that Coke idea, and that became how the Coke was made was a trade secret. That basically that is also a part of an intellectual property, which is now for various recipes also there is a trade secret act people have come up with. Geographical indication. Various parts of the country has certain features of it. Every state has their own features. For example, Punjab is known for its basmati rice. Assam is known for its silk. Goa is known for its penny. So different states has the different aspects or thing. So that has to be protected, and we cannot get it under the trademark or copyright. So that a different category had come into the picture for that. That was geographical indication. Design. Now, design also has a two category of it. For example, the chip. That is also all your that's layout design of semiconductor, any computer software inside the mobile app that we have small things. That is also a design that comes under the protection of semiconductor integrated circuits. And other type of design like a car, the various shapes of the car, the door of the car will be in this position. A plate. Plates, the centimeter, the width, everything is a part of the design, and all that can be protected under Design Act. Now, in 2001, a new act had come up to protect the farmers and plant varieties. That's called a protection of plant varieties and farmers' right. And to give you an example of that, for example, farmers come up when they produce things, they come up with something new for protection of that. But they cannot wait for them to get the market, go into the market without protection. If they do that, people are copying. So for that protection, the government had come up with a separate act called Plant Varieties and Farmers' Right. In this, jute plants, kidney beans, all of them have been protected. Now to come into the category of copyright, which is the main topic today to be discussed. What is copyright? Copyright is a legal term used to describe the rights that creators have over their literary and artistic works. Works covered by copyright range from books, music, paintings, sculptures, films to computer programs, database, advertisement, maps, everything. Every expression of an idea can be copyrighted. Even a computer software, the source code of it can be copyrighted. Copyright does not protect the idea. To be very category about that, and which we face as I'm practicing on a regular basis with Copyright Act. People come up with a question that I have come with a business development. Can I protect business idea? Can I protect that? No, we cannot protect that unless that idea can be expressed in a certain form. And that form can be something written, maybe a book or some source code or some workflow of chart then only I can protect. And what happens if I get it protected? If I get it protected, I get a reward, or I can claim some monetary benefit, or I have certain, I am the originator of that particular material for a certain period of time. During that certain period of time, if anybody tries to copy that, I can file a case against them and I get a protection on that. So that's why copyright was even copyright came into the picture. Now, copyright also has been divided into various categories, such as literary. We all know books, whatever you're reading, it's all copyright protected. Movies, that is cinematographic films, in that movies come into the picture, so all protected. Dramatic, so it can be choreography, it can be recitation, any sort of drama, all that, the plays that has come into the picture can be taking copyright protection on that. Music, all songs we hear is a copyright protection. Artistic, any form of art is an artistic protection. Sound recording, the musical notes we have that we see in some various forms, all that is a sound recording, a musical note protection. That also is a copyright protection. In India, computer software is protected under Copyright Act, and that can be protected by your source code. Why was copyright protected? Copyright Act came into the picture. What is the object behind it? As I told you earlier, while we had started the explanation about that, that is because when I'm creating a new work, I would, what should I invest in that? I'm investing my time, I'm investing my labor, I'm investing some form of money to it. So when I'm doing that, I need to get a reward on that. So that's why the reward to the author for the creation of the new work. What happens with the reward? I can claim monetary benefit. For example, I can sell it. All the authors, Ketan Bhagat and all, have been selling their books, so they're getting monetary gain on that. So monetary gain, there is a certain period of time for which I'm getting exclusivity right on that. Nobody can claim an infringement on claim that book. For example, any novel, if anybody tries to take that, has to take a permission from the particular author to claim and to adapt that movie in certain form. Consumer and for what happens to all this? We as a consumer can enjoy new things because people have the capability to make some and they get a reward on that. They decide they can enjoy various new sort of products or new work. When I file a copyright, there are lots of a very important feature is publication. You will get to know, I'll discuss more about publication in later on, but publication plays a very important role. That is, when was the copyright or the new work that I've created come into the picture, when it was released? Because from that particular day, I get the protection to a certain period of time. If that release was made without my approval, then it calls an infringement. Any questions will be taken later or right now?
Ma'am, I am noting down the questions. The questions will be taken in the question answer session, ma'am. Okay. I'll be moderating that, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So whatever, whenever I say that I've published my material, suppose I've come up with a book and I'm writing a book and I go to the public and I've published it. I do it on my own, then it is a publication. But someone infringing that, copying that, they found the material and they took it, they xeroxed it and they come into the public, that is an infringement. To protect the copyright and to protect the creator of the copyright, a copyright board was created. The copyright board was created by whom? The government, the Copyright Act. And what was the purpose of the copyright board? then they will be checking when I file a copyright application, whether I have the right to receive the certificate, whether it is an original certificate, whether there is certain newness to that, is there any novelty to it? That is their work. If I say that someone is infringing my copyright, to figure out if there is an infringement, so to take all necessary judgments with respect to copyright, this copyright board had come into the picture. For the copyright, who is appointed, the main authority of a copyright board is the registrar of copyright. They have the authority to issue certificate, cancel any certificate. If there is any grievances, I have to go to the copyright board and to the registrar of the copyright. The copyright board will consist of one chairman and various other members. The chairman has to be equivalent to a judge. He may be a judge, ex-judge, or he may not be, but he has to be qualified to be appointed as a judge. That means minimum of 10 years of serving. Copyright board shall have all the powers that of civil code, civil procedure code. So they can make their laws if required. They can see if this is an infringement. They can take action suo motu on their own hand. Like publication, there are few other terminologies in copyright which is very important. Number one is author. When I say copyright, the first thing comes into the picture is who is the creator of that material, who is the creator of that new work. Whoever is the artist, whoever is the writer, whoever is the photographer is the creator of the work. Can he be the owner of the work? In some circumstances, most of the circumstances, yes, some not. If he is working under the influence of an employer, the employer is telling him that do this for me, then he is not the owner, but he is the author. So there is a difference between author and the owner. For example, I can give you my own company's example. Miglex has a website. Now, I don't know how to create a website. I have absolutely zero knowledge about it. So I hired someone to prepare that website for me. He is the artist. He did it on his own. I have paid him for his services. So who becomes the author of the copyright? He is the author, but I am the owner of the copyright because he did under my influence. I paid him for that, paid him for the services. So at that point of time, when I file the copyright application, I have to take a no objection certificate for him, stating that he do not have any problem if I get the copyright on that, since he has worked under the influence of being an employee under me. Assignment under Copyright Act. Assignment means when I get a copyright, as I told you in the very beginning, that there is a reward for it. Now, reward can be in various ways. That means I have a right on that particular material for which I have got the copyright. What I can do is I can give that entire right of mine to someone else because it is transferable. How I can give? I can give it through an assignment application. There is a form called assignment form. An agreement has to be prepared, and that goes the entire copyright rights which I had and assigning it to a third party. And that I can do it for a consideration. I can do it without any consideration. That is completely up to me. There is again another term called license, which is quite similar to assignment, but there is a minor difference. When I say assignment, I give my entire right. It can be partial also, but basically my right is given to a particular thing, to a third party for a particular purpose, and that can be full or partial. Whereas in a license, it is permission. It is not an assignment. There's a difference between that. The difference is the license is only for a particular schedule and it's an exclusive right for that particular purpose. For example, I have written a book. When I'm writing a book, I have to get it published. So before publishing, I say that, okay, this book, I have to give it to another party, another third party to write, to do any sort of changes in that book. Now that becomes I say that entire right of mine has gone to that person. That means I'm assigning my entire right to that person. If I say that no, I am just giving him for delivering certain changes in that, and he has to give it to me, and that means I'm giving him a license. He can take it as a license for that particular purpose. Now, term of copyright. Copyright is for 60 years. To be in a very simple wording, it's 60 years, but it has been categorized. For example, if I am the author and I've written my name in the book, that this book has been written by Chetan Bhagat's book. Chetan Bhagat, till he is living, he has a lifetime author of that book, and he will get, and this copyright will be subsist in him up to 60 years after his death. In certain books, there is no name, it is anonymous. When there is an anonymous, the date of first publication, that is why first publication came into the picture. Why first day of coming into the news? From that particular date, 60 years down the line. If there is a joint ownership, that I have two authors, co-authors, the person who dies last after his death, 60 years. In any photograph, from the time it was published in the calendar, it was in the public domain, 60 years post that. Now, a copyright has been categorized under another two categories, that is a broadcasting right and performer's right. What is a broadcasting right? Broadcasting right means a person who can broadcast who has the broadcasting power. For example, the IPL matches that we see, I think the broadcasting right is given to Sony Live, if I'm not wrong. So Sony Live has the license to broadcast, and no other broadcasting agency will have the broadcasting authority. And for them, the right will be there for 25 years. If some other channel, for example, a star comes into the picture and want to copies that and broadcasted it, then Sony Live can sue them. Performers' right. In lots of stage shows, we keep seeing stage shows, we see dramas and everything. So the performer who is doing the performance, they get a specific right that they call it as a performer's right. The performer's right lasts for 50 years from the beginning of the calendar year. And it starts from the time they have first performed. They have all the right, that is reproduction, distribution, rental, moral right, all goes to the performer. So this is a specific right prepared or came into the picture for the protection of the performers. How do we register copyright? How do we, when I do a filing in the process, how do we file it? What is the process of registration? How much time do we take? This is a simple question that comes into picture when anybody in a day-to-day life wants to protect that. So there is a form in the Copyright Office Board, which we have to fill it up. It is online right now. So that form, we have to fill it up, and with 3 copies of the original work has to be submitted. A diary number will be issued within 30 days of our filing, post which we will be waiting for sorry, my apologies. Diary number will be issued immediately, and post that 30 days will be waiting for the objection to be raised, if any objection comes into the picture. If there is no objection, then it will move ahead. The examiner will see if there's no discrepancy, we'll get the accepted letter. However, if there is an objection raised, then the applicant has to revert back to the objection within the specific time, that is 30 days, with the document submitted, whatever it has been mentioned, with a complete reply. Post that, there will be a hearing in most of the cases. Copyright Board is only in New Delhi in India. So the hearing happens only in New Delhi. So the hearing will happen, and then if the discrepancy is cleared and the registrar of copyright is satisfied, then we receive the certificate. And if it's not, a rejection letter is sent. This is the flow chart of how the copyright code works. You will find the same flow chart in the Copyright Act also, that is the website also. If you go to the website, the entire thing is taken. I have taken it from there only. Under Copyright Act, when we are getting a remedy, then that means the remedy is for certain infringement or something things which happens as a loss to me. What is an infringement? Infringement is when I am the owner of a book or a creator of any sort of artistic work, painting. I don't want anyone to copy that. If they're copying and preparing something, selling it on their own, that means I'm having an economic loss. I'm having a monetary loss or a creativity loss. So that ends up being an infringement. There is any form of reproduction, whether the computer software copyright we have taken or whether a book copyright we have taken, any form of reproduction of any work is a sort of infringement if it is done without my permission. If it is done with a permission, with my right even, it's not an infringement. Example, we find so many novels in the roadside, people selling it for 100 rupees, where if we go to Amazon to buy them, they're 400 rupees. They're just a copy of the Xerox. They are just they buy an original book, they Xerox it and they sell it, correct? So that is an unauthorized production of author's book, and that is a type of infringement. Even if I am not directly involved in that infringement, but if I buy that book from the person, it is a type of infringement that I'm encouraging him to do that act. So that is also a type of infringement. So this sort of participation or giving them a right to do something which is not legal is all infringement, and it can be taken into the court. What are the remedies available if there is any form of infringement? Number one, as I told you, our copyright board has the power of civil procedure code. So that means civil remedies, a criminal case also can be taken into picture for any sort of copyright infringement. Again, the copyright board has the power to take any sort of action on its own. So that becomes an administrative board. What is an injunction suit? I am sure you all must be having a knowledge about that. Injunction suit is nothing but asking them to stop that production. For example, if I am selling a pirated version of any movie, then the movie director can file an injunction suit against me to stop that. Search and seizure order, that means they have the power to stop it. They go to my place, take all the copies which is there in the picture. Criminal remedies is simple. A criminal case by getting filed, 6 months to 3 years of imprisonment, 50,000 to 2 lakh rupees fine. Administrative remedies, the register and copyright board who has given all the right, they can take an action directly against infringement. This is the most common type of infringement. If there is any action against infringement, if there is any form of infringement, we in the copyright, who files the copyright would go to the copyright boards in the first place. If we do not get a remedy there, then we go for other protection. Along with that, we definitely file an injunction suit to stop it immediately. Now, let's give you an example of the entire thing which we have discussed today in a case basis, so that it's more clear, and if any questions, you can come into that picture. Sunil Darshan versus Google and YouTube, you'll find the case online. So what happens in this case is he's a very famous movie director. I think there are 3-4 movies of his like Dandas and all. He had filed a case against Google and YouTube. Why? Because the movies come into as soon as the movies are coming, the songs are getting this YouTube, and before even the movies are coming, songs are already being downloaded by the YouTube people viewing YouTube and Google. So that's why his monetary gain, he claimed that whatever he should have received the monetary gain by producing this movie or directing this movie, he has not. There is a loss because of Google and YouTube. He went to the court, and the court gave a judgment in favor of him, stating that Google and YouTube has done that without the permission of the director, and because of which he is eligible to receive a fine of rupees 50,000. This the monetary was not sufficient, so he has filed more cases. Let's not go into depth on that, but this is how the basic outcome. So this is the type of infringement that we can talk about. Thank you. Is there now we can discuss about the questions?
Yes, ma'am. We can discuss the questions, ma'am. Ma'am, should we begin with the questions?
Yeah.
Right. Ma'am, the first question to you is that how royalty is calculated?
So there is no particular system of calculation of royalty. It is between the parties. They decide on how the royalties they will be calculated. For example, right now we are working on a project in which there are 2 persons. There is an author and there is an illustrator. Now the illustration is made by a person. She does not want any other form of ownership in that, but she wants a royalty on that. So how they're calculating royalty is that the number of books that will be sold per book, she will be receiving some amount depending upon what is the price of the book, and that's how. And each book they'll be receiving certain amount. So that is their discussion, their discretionary power, how to calculate the royalty. There is no particular method of calculating.
Right, ma'am. And the next question to you is from Mr. Ayush Dey. The question is how we can choose jurisdiction of court for infringement.
Okay, that depends upon where the infringement has happened. Okay, first of all, there is only one copyright board. There is only one office. That is New Delhi. Okay, there is only one board. Now, where the infringement has happened, where I've suffered the loss. Suppose I am in Bangalore and I have suffered a loss here. I will file a suit here.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, the next question to you is from Mr. Vinod Patel. Does plagiarism come under the Breach of Copyright Act?
Yes, it does.
Ma'am, the next question is to you from Nidhi Kalyani. If a work does not have the word copyright on it, can I assume that such work is used for public domain?
No, it doesn't need to be copyright. Copyright is not a compulsory registration. So you don't need to add the word copyright protected. Even if it is not, if it is my creation, it can be copyright protected. I don't need to use the word copyright.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, next question to you is, cannot we take action against people who make profit by manufacturing previous similar products?
If it is within the time period of copyright protection, they can file. But if it is after the limitation, that is the term period, that is after 60 years of the term, we cannot. That is, it is in the public domain. People are there to copy it.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, the next question to you is from Chandra Shah is that how copyright societies may contribute in CR protection?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
How copyright societies may contribute in the CR protection?
CR protection. What is CR protection?
I just confirm, ma'am. Just confirm what is CR protection. Copyright protection, ma'am.
So sorry, copyright society. That means he's talking about the copyright society board, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
The same way, na, the copyright board that has been created to protect this copyright protection itself. That is, if any sort of infringement happens, they come into the picture. If there is any sort of any sort of claim that if I want to certificate, if I want to stop someone's certificate, that also I can go to copyright society.
Okay, ma'am.
I hope he's clear. I hope he got the answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Next question from Khushbu Khote is that when Indian copyright is infringed by foreign countries, how can we get the jurisdiction?
Okay, so copyright protection is only for the particular country, unless you go and file it in that specific country. However, if, for example, it is very common in India also, you see people are copying Chinese stuff or US stuff anywhere. To get the protection, if US wants the protection in India, they have to file a copyright protection in India also. See, as per the convention and treaties, let me just give you more detail about it. As per the convention and treaties, there are lots of signatories. Okay, all the signatories have the various countries are the signatories of that. Now, being a signatory, they have come up with the various acts, but there is no particular application in which we can file and protect ourselves from all the signatories. Okay, what we have to do is we have to file in each particular country.
Okay, ma'am. The next question is, without the permission of the author, whether the publisher can alter the contents of the book even when he paid any royalty and got assignment.
Can you repeat the question? Sorry, I didn't get it.
Without the permission of the author, whether the publisher can alter the contents of the books even he paid any royalty and got assignment.
No, he has to take permission from the author. If not, the author can sue against them.
Okay, ma'am. And the next question to you is that, does blog come under Copyright Act?
Yes, because that is my creativity. I can file a copyright protection against that. See, copyright is not a compulsory act, compulsory registration. Okay, it is my choice whether I want to file a copyright or not. But whatever I write is my creativity. So that means it is somehow, whether it's registered or unregistered, it is copyright protected for me.
Ma'am, whether dance activities are subject matter of copyright?
Yeah, choreography, all type of dance, they are all subject matter of copyright.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Next question to you is from Toshi Tiwari. Is it compulsory to have a registration of copyright for being the owner of a website?
Sorry, can you repeat? I couldn't hear you.
Is it compulsory to have the registration of copyright for being the owner of a website?
It is not compulsory, but you can definitely go for the copyright protection.
Right, ma'am. The next question is plagiarism and infringement one and the same thing?
Plagiarism is a type of infringement. It is a type of infringement because I am copying someone's speech or someone's written part into my form. So definitely it's a type of infringement and I can file a case. I think there was a very renowned case which came into the picture also of late about a plagiarism that happened.
Okay. Ma'am, next question is, how can we apply for copyright with co-author?
So when we file the application, we have to mention the two authors' name, give both the authors director, and we have to mention that it's a joint ownership.
The next question is, please throw some light on the Ilayaraja music director case.
I haven't gone through the case, so I will not be able to give you a light on the case because I haven't read the case.
Sure. Next question is, ma'am, is registration essential for copyright protection?
As I told you, no, it is not. Even an unregistered copyright can be protected, but the remedy is limited.
Okay. Ma'am, who can possess the performer's right?
The performer who is performing will be possessing the performer's right.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Next question is, ma'am, what is copyright notation?
Copyright?
Notation.
Notation. I haven't
Yes.
heard the word notation. Can you just give me 1 minute? I'll just
Yes, ma'am.
It's the same thing. It's copyright notation. We're talking about the 3 elements, that is the C symbol, the letter copyright, the abbreviation. So for that also we have to say the year of publication and then we get the copyright. That is what copyright notation is.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, another student is asking in which conditions compulsory license are taking place?
Compulsory licensing, for example, you have to, for certain products, like medical products or some farmers product, which is very essential to people. Okay, and people, if I don't get the protection, I am not coming into the public domain, then people are suffering certain loss on that. So then government comes into the picture and go for a compulsory licensing. We give them that you have to give us for licensing at this particular costing.
Ma'am, what will be the situation if 2 authors come with same ideas at the same time?
Prior claim. Suppose same time, it's very difficult, right? At least it will be a 1 day difference or some time difference. So person who has come into the public domain prior to the other party will be the owner of it.
Okay. Ma'am, Shreya Tiwari wants to ask you that how does internet and easy access to other people's work affect copyright claims?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry, I didn't listen.
How does internet and easy access to other people's work affect copyright claims?
See, for example, this copyright, when I say a copyright claim, I talk about publication also, right? I have to prove that a particular book or material was published on a particular date. That's when I'm going to claim a prior claim. Now, for example, certain things come into the picture even without my approval or my knowledge. Okay, the internet, because of internet, lots of things come into the, even I don't have any idea about internet, suppose, and something is already in there. So how will I protect myself if I don't go for the registration? So copyright claim with the internet, I have to verify that. Like when I go to the copyright department saying that certain infringement has happened, then this picture comes into the question.
Ma'am, there are some students asking the same question. Ma'am, can you just repeat once again the registration process of the copyright?
Yes, simple. Should I share the screen or I can just...
Ma'am, you can explain like this also, ma'am.
Okay, fine. See, when I file, there is a copyright form available in the department. That form, we have to fill it up. In that form, various details are like when if the copyright book was first published earlier or it is going to be published now, when was it written, who is the author, who is the owner, where does the author stay, where does the owner stay. These are the few questions under that form. So we have to fill all these details. Along with that details, there are certain, there is an NOC we have to submit from the author. As I told you, the author may be the owner, but may not be also, right? So I have to take an NOC from the author, stating that I do not have any objection in giving the owner the certificate. So then, once these are there, there is a now how much fees? 500 rupees or 500 rupees. There is a fee, and of certain protection, there is of artistic work. I think it is 2,000 rupees. Okay, so the government fee. So along with the fee, we have to submit that application to the department, and there is a 3 copy. Suppose it's a book, then 3 copies of the book. If it's a source code, 3 copies of the source code, we have to submit.
Okay. And the last question to you for the day is, ma'am, is Copyright Act in any way related to cyber law also?
Copyright Act, cyber law is a completely different donor. Okay, but see, for example, I don't. Cyber law will be an IT Act. Copyright Act will not come into the picture except on the computer source code and certain things of that.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for taking so many questions, ma'am. You actually took a lot of questions, ma'am. We're really thankful for you, ma'am. Now I should hand over the mic to Academic Coordinator Monica Kharola, ma'am.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you, Snigdha. It's been wonderful. You have given the participants the basics of intellectual property and then details about copyright, what it is, who are the different owners, how it can be assigned to others, how it can be licensed, what is compulsory licensing, what is the law relating to jurisdiction of the court, and wonderfully you have summarized and informed all the answers that various participants had. So we are very thankful for your informative lecture, and we look forward to your lecture tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and you are a good teacher. We are, we keep looking for people as resource persons. So tomorrow we'll be with you and in future days also.
Sure, so my pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving an opportunity, and I hope people understood whatever I tried to explain. Thank you.
Thank you
very much, madam. We are grateful to you. Madam Snigdha, I'm very much grateful to you that you have spared your valuable time.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
So now we close the workshop for the day.
Yes,
so thank you. Thank you, madam.
We shall meet tomorrow, sir. We shall meet tomorrow, ma'am.